is a big problem in our society. And what it comes down to is people can't see themselves from the outside. People who are so immersed in a particular mindset are practically incapable of being able to even see anything wrong with it, let alone acknowledge any rational criticisms of that mindset in which they are immersed and inundated from the time that they are born. And that's the problem with Christianity in our society. Our society is so invested in this notion that we are a Christian society, that the majority of people in the society are not even capable of looking at all in any critical manner, of taking any kind of a critical look at what Christianity and the mindset it brings are all about. It's a very real problem. And of course it would be that way regardless of what it was. If Christianity was not the thing that European and American society was immersed in, if we were immersed in something else, then people have just as hard a time viewing whatever else it was instead critically as they do with Christianity. If Hinduism, for instance, were the major religion of Europe and had spread to America and Australia and South America as part of colonialism, if it were Hinduism rather than Christianity, then it would be just as difficult for people to even view skeptically, to be able to question, gods with 6 arms. And all of this, people would say, oh, of course it is natural to believe in gods with these beings with 6 arms and 3 eyes, and the middle eye in the middle of their forehead. And reincarnation is you don't even question. It's just, that's just when you have a whole society that's immersed in a certain mindset, it becomes so incredibly difficult to get people to even be able to view it objectively. And that's the problem we have with Christianity. As I say, it's not just Christianity's fault. It's the pervasiveness of Christianity, which is largely Christianity's fault. Christianity largely, deliberately made itself, spread itself, vehemently and even aggressively and even violently, did everything it could to spread itself through every continent of this world, starting with Europe and then spreading aggressively through North America, South America, Australia, half of Africa, and at least 1/3 of Asia. Christianity is definitely an aggressive, deliberately aggressive, try to spread itself and make itself dominant. And it succeeded. And as this dominant mindset, dominant institutionalized mindset throughout our society, our civilization, with about 2 billion people on this planet considering themselves Christian, there are hundreds of millions of people incapable of viewing any of its doctrine and dogma objectively. Most of them unable even to see that there's anything peculiar about their own belief systems. And this is the thing that bothers me. People, hundreds of millions of people, being incapable of even seeing that there's something peculiar about their belief in this demigod, immortal human being who can rise from the dead. Incapable of seeing that there's anything peculiar about that, thinking that that belief system is something very common sense and normal when it isn't. And that kind of really, boggles my mind. That kind of really gets me to where, like, just flabbergasted. Trying to when you even try to talk to people and they think they're completely rational, and they really aren't, because they're so immersed in this from the time that they're born. they're dunked under the water, and they're given, all of this. They're surrounded by all the symbolism, and they can't even get it out of their brain. They can't even think outside of this mindset, because into the very phrases that they use come all these Christian concepts that they don't even realize have invaded their thought processes. They don't even realize that when they try to make a simple factual statement, they don't realize how it's been tinted by their own upbringing. So I'll express more about that specifically when the thoughts come specifically to me.